Hello and welcome to Real Hi-Fi Help, transforming a dark, unclear and boring sound into a more neutral sound. So let's just say that you're in a situation where you think your sound is a bit dark, unclear, sluggish, too soft, whatever. And I'm just guessing, typically I would say that that usually comes from rooms that are in the, I would say, the slightly biggish area where you might have a lot of padding. Of course, it could just purely be the equipment doing all of this, but I'm just saying with this video here that you could take that existing system that you have that you think is locked into this, boring, unclear, muddy type of sound, and you can actually move it in a different room if you've got that possibility that's only two-thirds of that size or about half the size. And usually what you get is more power, more clarity, more focus, more intensity, more pressure. So you don't actually have to change your gear. You could be in this situation here. You've got curtains at the side, this side, and also the other side that we can't see. And it could be like killing the dynamics, sitting on the sound, not quite releasing and getting that, slam. So I think that that's basically what you can learn from this video, that just by changing the room or removing curtains, putting like a harder wall up here, it can create a very different acoustic for you, and also if you can like create these smallish types of rooms, if you haven't got a too big a speaker, I think a room size that is 15, 20, 25, 30 square meters, that's like ideal for most people, because once you get into the big rooms, what a lot of people don't seem to get is that, yeah, of course, you then start getting into power amps, monoblocks, preamps, stuff like this, and it gets more impressive. You get more smash and all of that, more control. But I feel that the really good rooms, the rooms that really connect you to the music, are usually only 4x4 meters or 5x5 meters in dimension. It's some similar stuff like that. Of course, you don't want like 4x4x4 or 5x5x5, because you usually want something that the width here. You usually want something like, I don't know, 4 meters here and then 5 meters on the long end here. And then probably like 2.5, 3 meters tall, something like that. I mean that's perfect for most systems, even some pretty biggish speakers, and especially if you can isolate with like a box in the middle. So if you had like a speaker over here, this corner here, if you have like a wooden box in 1 or 2 levels here going halfway up, that could isolate a lot of that bass and richness that you want when you're listening to music. So the speaker doesn't have to go da 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 da, hit it out towards you, the sound. um just a very good tip for you guys, because you can feel, maybe you have a piece of tube gear where you feel like, I'm never really getting that intensity, that slam, that last bit of detail, but you can get that if you, for example, go from a room that's really long, and a bit wide, to something that's a lot more controlled. I had a 4x4 meter room when I originally had my YBA gear. I'm telling you guys, even though that was a bit harsh and really intense and a bit noisy, my God, was it just so intimate. Once you get close to like 3.5, 4.5, 5 meters, with your head to the whole sound system here, I feel that magic, starts to happen in that zone, Whereas, you know, me and my big room, I have like 11 meters from this, you know, sound equipment here, and then like 11 meters over there, you know, like twice the length of this room here, probably. And that you know, that fully unloads the flow, and that's nice in a way, you know. It creates a very different priority, but it also has its problems, you know. You lose a bit of focus, you lose a bit of it sound kind of wants to fall apart when it has to travel really far, but also if you're too close, it doesn't fully unload, and it just becomes too violent, too intense, too much, you know. So you have to find a middle ground, and I just hope that this video then helps you to find that middle ground. And yeah, in this room, for example, you know, I would put like a chair or two, probably at the side, and I would have like a harder wall here and harder wall over there, and I would not have this glass surface table or whatever it is. I can't really see what they're doing here, and I wouldn't have this hard surface here. I would probably have like a loose chair pointing in a weird direction here and over there and over here, so we don't have these, you know, bouncy surfaces. But you also need that with like a slightly hardish wall here, because if you don't have that, if you have curtains at the side, it can kill some of the frequency response, you know. It looks good, and in a way it can remove a lot of harshness, but it can also function like a bass trap that you know, just does a certain thing, locks a certain part of the frequency range where you're not really getting all the sound that you want to do, you know. So I hope that helps you guys figuring out transforming your darkish, perhaps muddy, unclear sound to something that's more neutral. That's me logging off. Bye.